wondering, fearing, doubting.
Nintendo.
You too will come to understand fear as I have.
Where that goes. Hopefully you guys can hear me alright. Seems to be. So apparently I had that problem yesterday, thinking my microphone's on, and then it wasn't. That's always fine. So we'll get this started in a couple more minutes, just waiting for 9:30 to start. We'll see how the stream goes. Hopefully it's a little bit better than last night, but just have to wait and see. Get a drink of this first. Alright, well, it's 9:30. I think we'll get this started in a little bit. Just gonna wait and see if someone else shows up or not first, and then I'll get started. Yeah, and screw it. You know what? Let's not tempt fate. The stream seems to be going good, so welcome back to another night of, well, DBG at night. And today we're continuing back on Eternal Darkness. I'm actually doing a second stream on a second day instead of waiting like a month and a half. How about that? But let's get into this. So last time we left off, we completed the 4th chapter with Kareem. Easily one of my favorite chapters in the game because, well, the weapons he gets in it are just... it might not be survival horror, but you just feel good using it. But next, we're back into the year 2000. And the darkness comes. Okay, so... Okay, I grabbed that last time. Now it's a matter of trying to remember where the hell I gotta go. Sure, it won't take too long, it's just... Oh, now I remember. Okay.
Hello?
Remember me, Alex.
This isn't really happening.
And that was one of the sanity effects. Yes, here we go. So, new spell, or spell list. Chant item. Select. There you go. Easily one of the key features of this game being the magic. Lets you kind of break the game in many ways. Detail. Among the pantry contents is a spice jar with a scrap of paper hidden inside. Pick up? Yes, I will. Check. Firmly sealed glass spice jar. The faint aroma of Arabian spices is tantalizingly emanating from it. There's a piece of paper inside of it. Should Alex open the jar? Yes, I think she should. Cutscene.
The future is yours. The light in the age of darkness has been extinguished. The pillar of flesh has been constructed. The master of chaos, the keeper of the ancients, is long dead. The planets will be in alignment soon. All is prepared for your arrival. I will begin the final incantation that will bring you into our world within days. The next millennium will truly usher in a new age. Your guardians, now prepare the gate!
I will not argue that I was shocked by the sudden mention of one of my ancestors, the distinguished Dr. Maximilian Roivas. It chilled me to my bones. Where had this ancient book come from? How had my ancestor stumbled upon it? I feverishly began to read more, eager to learn his story. It seems that Maximilian had inherited his father's mansion, just as I had. Alone since the death of his wife, and since his children had their own adult lives, he explored the house to discover his family roots.
It has been 2 weeks since the death of my father, and it has finally come to me to look over the mansion. Now, I am truly alone, and forced to start a new life here in Rhode Island. I intend to make the mansion mine, and live in it as my forefathers have, to continue the family tradition. The mansion has its secrets, I'm sure, and in my time here, I have to make them mine.
Alright, so this is basically the 5th chapter, I believe. And for people who've played this game, this is, for many, basically their favorite character in the game, Maximilian Roivas. And to be honest, I don't blame them. It's a pretty fun chapter, and it does things that are pretty big when it comes to a lot of the chapters in the game. It's introduces a lot of elements that we'll see later on. A letter written with some precision in longhand. Dear friend, the antiquity of which you asked is indeed the tomb of the eternal darkness. Or a copy of it, at least. Its secrets are still hidden from me, for I have been unable to read it, as most scholars who have tried. It will remain within the sanctity of the mansion, for in the wrong hands it would be a powerful weapon. Peruse it if you will, but beware its magic. It is a harsh mistress. Aaron Roivas. Take that, another magic spell rune. Well, Codic. And I'll be taking that. Get out of my way, asshole. Now, I think the reason why Max for many is considered to be people's favorites is because he has an interesting gimmick with him in that he creates a bestiality, not bestiality, bestiary of the enemies in the game that you're able to see. in this chapter, and it's actually pretty cool because after you finish the chapter, you actually get to hear his thoughts on it, and then it's actually, once you get the full thing filled up, it's a pretty interesting listen to. Check. A letter scrawled by a panic hand with clotted ink. Dear friend, the house has been forsaken by the ancients. I dare not enter it for fear of my mortal soul. I would suggest that you leave also. Bring the book. It is far more potent. It is a far more potent tool than you have learned. It may well swing the balance in our favor. A. Roivas. I don't think you want to shoot him yet. Take that. And we'll take that. Get off the wall. Detail. Okay. There is something written beneath the image. When darkness spreads its wings before my master, Chiturga's greatest foe, the path to truth will be opened. Curled scroll of aged parchment sits atop the stack of dusty books. It is covered with strange diagrams and writing. Okay, we'll be taking this. Oh, equip it. Dope. Oh yeah, forgot. You don't get magic until you pick up the book. Detail. Yes, take it. As Max lifts the tome in the eternal darkness, a letter slips out from between the pages, deftly matched. Max catches it as it drops towards the floor. Oh, take that. Check. Letter scrawled almost indescribable. Whatever. Dear friend, as I suspected, the ruins of Enga, that blasted Necropolis, lie deep under the site of the mansion. The accursed servants of Chiturga are so close that I can almost hear their chittering. There's a secret opening in the basement, and from there you can gain access. I urge you to gather some men and seal it, or better still, destroy that damned place. I have stowed something that you'll find useful on the upper level. Look to the light, and you will find it. I wish that I could be at your side, but my ailment worsens daily, and I know that my time is short. A. Roivas. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. So basically what I picked up there is like a spell list. It tells you the runes you gotta use for it. It also lets you know what it kind of does. Stuff like that. And we're gonna use this.
Enter by Celton.
nice thing is when you have the actual spell scroll, it'll create the spell for you automatically, which is always nice. And she's obviously possessed. Hit her. And this is what I was talking about. And fuck, I missed one. Oh well. Yeah, so gives it like a little bit of a drawing and all that. I made a video, I think in my first year, showcasing all of them. So later on, finish them. If you want to check it out, and by all means, I'll probably leave a link in the description afterwards. You seriously walked in one of the crappiest fucking places. Where are you? This one you gotta be quick with because it'll disappear quickly. And you definitely don't want to miss it. I've seen guides, well, like little showcases before I made mine that didn't have the creeper on it. And it's... you don't want that to happen. Oh shit, I never picked that. Jordan, you dumbass. Well, spell 2 is the heal spell. I forgot to pick up the scroll on the previous chapter. Which, as far as I know, if you miss something in a previous chapter, then that's it for this run. You're pretty much screwed. So don't be an idiot like me. Which, if it's your first time playing, it can be a major setback. But I mean, I've been playing this for how many years now, and like I know the spells off the top of my hand. So. Paper envelope sealed with a glob of melted wax. An odd rune is pressed into the wax. There appears to be something heavy inside. Should Maximilian open it? Yes, he definitely should. Inside his envelope is a letter addressed to one of Max's father's aides. And the basement key. The door to the servants' quarters is securely locked. Maximilian, however, can't help but feel uneasy. An ominous presence lurks behind that door, making the hairs on his neck stand on end. Letter written in scrawling hand reads, "Dear friend, as I expected, the beasts are drawing closer to our discovery. They want the book for themselves, it seems, and do not want us to have it in our possession. I have taken steps to ensure that their ilk will not touch the keys in this envelope. Should you fall prey to their claws, the envelope... Should you fall prey to their claws, the envelope containing a basement key has been sealed with a corrosive magic. If one not aligned to us tries to handle it, it'll be released, inflicting pain, suffering and a grievous blow to their sanity should they have any left. Be swift with your task, AR. Which actually brings up a good point. So obviously there's 3 alignments in the game, and it's in like a rock, paper, scissors format. You'll see pictures or patterns of that here and there. And it's... you know, it's a good knowledge to have because it'll help make... actually, we'll show it right here with enchanting the sword. Now, enchanting your weapons will help in general, but if you have the right alignment, it'll do even more major damage to the corresponding enemy. That makes sense. So this character or enemy has the blue alignment, even though you can't see in this one. So, the green one, which is stronger against it, will supposedly, or so they say, should take it out a lot quicker. Which is definitely something you want. Of course, I think the chapter after this, there's a 4th alignment that if you get it, it's basically the bomb in rock, paper, scissors. These guys immediately because they regrow their limbs. The red ones, anyway. Spellless heal cast. I'll take this. Damage field spell basically gives you a barrier, which I don't use too much, to be honest, but it has its uses.
This can't be happening!
And that was one of the sanity meters. I knew that one was coming, so... It makes me waste a shot, but I'm not going to use all of them. And this one is a specific sanity effect to max. It's, you'll see a little bit later, but it's a bit of foreshadowing, which is actually pretty cool. Attempt autopsy. incredulous at the sight. A desolate ruin of a fantastic city built into a huge, naturally formed cave. Jutting spires and looming buildings poke through the dense fog. Light ebbs through the city, crackling in the wake of the energy spilling from a light source head aloft by unseen forces. Now, an interesting thing that you can do with the magic in this game is that even if you don't have the scroll or the spell list, you can still create, because you use different runes and you use them at multiple times. So we're going to try one out. Bantarok is Protect. Which one is Self? There we go. Now I just discovered a spell that I'm not supposed to get until like a couple chapters from here. Which, it can be pretty cool when you, it lets you have the freedom of that, which I've always liked. Basically what this spell does is give you free hits. It's basically your defense spell in the game. They protect you from sanity, as well as other things. And here is their first, I guess, mini-boss of the game. Spell list. I'm gonna use this one. Cast. Now, basically, as long as I'm in here, I will be protected. As far as I know, anyway. Spell list. Chant.
The accursed beast was dead, but not without its toll on me. That was but one, and there was an entire city of them. I could not hope to fight them all alone. I knew I had to get help. I knew there was a way. I just had to find it.
I tried to tell them, but they wouldn't listen to me. Damn them. Damn their eyes. They didn't believe me. Strange creatures. The world in peril from unseen foes. Death. The darkness.
Instead, they jeered and threw me into this forsaken place. A place of empty souls and fevered thoughts, reeking of fetor and decay, thinking me mad with delirium. The fools cast away their hopes of salvation, but locking me in this damned asylum. May the rats eat your eyes! I am now lost to your cause! The darkness comes! It will damn us all!
And that was chapter 5. Yeah, chapter 5. Okay, so let me get the chapter 6 page. You definitely come up here. And yeah, that guy's head will move anytime your sanity is lower. Detail. One of the drawers in the dresser curiously has no keyhole. In its place is a small triangular design flanked by a magical symbol. Which means... reveal invisible. And this one I think could be a little tricky if you don't find that little dresser key behind the clock at the beginning. So, I mean, that one's kind of... I'll knock a point off for that because, well, not really a point if I did points, but it is a con of the game. That one can be hard to find.
Our guardians have located the heart, Master. Before the month is out, it shall be ours.
Do not underestimate the power of Mantarok, Warlock. Its power cannot be defined in terms you understand. For 7 centuries, its corpse has corroded your universe.
And during those 7, the denizens of the region have been either destroyed or driven away. There is nothing, no one to stop us from collecting it. Mantarok and its essence lie unprotected in the jungle.
Then waste no more time. Retrieve it immediately, and pray to me that you do. Time is running short, and without me, you are mere flesh and bone. Remember that.
The ancients' influence was incredible. From all walks of life to all parts of the world, their tendrils crept and wrought their insidious damage. Their prisons decayed constantly as their guardians' work continued. I discovered mention of a breakthrough in satellite radar imaging that revealed the presence of a hitherto unknown temple mound in the Angkor Thom region of Cambodia. An archaeologist of some repute, Dr. Edwin Lindsay, took it upon himself to investigate the area, to reveal the secrets of history.
Unfortunately, the local government at the time thought differently, requiring that Lindsay find other means into the country and to finance the expedition. He found these in Paul Augustine, a collector of rare items who professed an interest in the discovery and agreed to help. After a dysentery-riddled 2-week venture, Lindsay and Augustine located the remains of an ancient city temple dating back to the 12th century.
Yes, this is it. It has to be.
I hadn't expected the information to pan out, but here it is. The satellite data was correct.
For years, I have searched for it without success. Here, all along, clouded from us beneath the great ancient's insidious magic. I am very pleased with your performance, Dr. Lindsay. Very pleased. In fact, so pleased that I will give you an early bonus.
My God!
You are a scholar, Dr. Lindsay, not a warrior. In that regard, I have several centuries more experience than you. Don't be a fool. Die quietly. And you will not suffer. You cannot escape me, Lindsay. This place will be your tomb, just as it is Mantarok's. Guardians of Zaturga, kill him!
Get out of here. So the key to taking out these guys is get behind them. Or else he's gonna stab you and you're gonna be stunned for a bit. Now, if you're thinking that this is basically an Indiana Jones ripoff, then yeah, it is. Well, not a ripoff, but highly, highly inspired by it. Oops, wrong one. An alcove carries an array of candles. They are arranged to reflect the time of the day. Curiously, they're still lit. How is it possible? Yeah, you definitely want that. This is a fun chapter too. You get a lot of interesting weapons and stuff like this. It's also one of the longer ones, especially if you're going for the fourth main rune, because there's a bit of backtracking on that one. Like in Chapter 2, don't step on those or else you'll trigger the traps. Helps to have the torch on this part because you can actually see where the hell you're going. Examine detail. A stone statue of a Naga, a snake-headed demon, stands guard in the corner of the room. A raised platform stands before it with a bracelet on it. Should Lindsay pick up the bracelet? Yes. Rule of thumb, pick up everything in this game. Because if it's flashing, chances are it needs it. Or, I mean, it means you're going to be using it for something. Oh, you bitch. Stay down. Nice thing is, certain enemies can be burned automatically, and then... Oop, step on that. And they take them out really quickly. The only downside to that is if you're trying to keep your sanity high, you're not going to get that finishing move, which will kill that. But like I was talking in part 1, you don't want that to happen. Go out of here for a moment. Power up our knife. Okay, don't stun lock me, asshole. So yeah, that's one of the things you kind of have to watch out for. They get more aggressive when you chop their head off, which, as you can see here. And the cool thing is they'll actually hurt each other too, so if you can pull that off, that's always helpful. Oop. Take you out. Now that spider web can be easily missed, and you definitely don't want to do that. Do the heal spell, because I'm obviously going to have to go against that big fucker. Spell list. Actually, yeah. Sign. There we go. Which, this is kind of cool in a way you can set little hotkeys for your magic so you don't have to go into the book all the time. trick. We'll be taking that. So as you can see right there, because I had that shield on me, I was lucky where basically I didn't take any damage. It also, those little shield dots will help you protect you from sanity loss too, which can be helpful when you want to keep your sanity at a certain level like I do. Now, as far as magic goes, it regenerates on its own over time, I think by walking. Which can, like I was saying in part 1, it kind of breaks the game a bit. Which, for playthrough and like live streaming purposes, I'm probably going to use it. But normally I don't. Or I limit myself to chapter to how many times I'll heal myself just to give it some actual challenge. Since I don't want him to get my sanity back. Probably shouldn't have done that, but oh well. Now here's where the backtracking comes in, and now you are. Go back, spiderweb. That's what I was talking about earlier, like the spiderwebs can be really... they can be missed easily in this chapter. So I'm sure for some who are just starting out for the first time, it can be a little hectic. You little fuckers coming back. Okay, why did you do that? Oh yeah, here that poison gas goes on, get the hell out. I did the wrong one. And that's what I was referring to the rock, paper, scissors like theme it has with these 3 alignments. Obviously I picked the wrong one, so the spell did jack off. Pull that shit. Yeah, as you can see, that's why this game became, like, as infamous as it was. Because, game would like to fuck with you in terms of breaking the fourth wall, making you think your TV turned off, deleting your signal. I fucking love that. Fucking squish. There's a small basin or font situated beneath the statue. Besides that, an orb-shaped button sits on the panel of stone. Should Lindsay push the button? No, not yet. So we're gonna put this in there. Now we're gonna push it. The water smells like strong acid, perhaps strong enough to dissolve metal or flesh, if Lindsay isn't careful. This puzzle isn't too difficult. It would be if it had Resident Evil's tank controls, but it's not too hard. Just basically grab that before he gets back to the thing. As you can see, he's turning around. And there we go. Another sanity effect.
Isn't really happening.
Ooh, stepped on that. And you killed it anyway, you fucker. Oops. That was just me being stupid. And this is the part that kind of makes the game drag, well, the chapter drag as much as it does. Fucker. And I need to go because I'm fucking losing health. Okay, where the hell is that statue? Here we go.
Remember me, Alex.
How can I forget you, Grandpa? You've always meant the most to me. Ever since my parents died.
Yes. Ever since they were killed, you've been my little girl. Yes. My little girl.
This can't be happening.
Let's go back in there for a moment. A bit I heard the lightning, so I know I'm gonna have to fight one of those big fuckers. And I wanna...
Bangkok sanity.
This one going, and then... There we go. Actually, I haven't shown off the other weapons yet, so... Spell, list, enchant. I enchanted the wrong fucking weapon. Dumbass. Those aren't anything to worry about afterward, because once they get their head blown off, they don't move like the red ones do. Another sanity effect. They seem to be wanting to play this one quite a bit. This one to me just always looked kind of jarring. Because you got the vines and shit on the wall, but it's upside down, and this one never was scary, it was just fucking goofy looking.
This can't be happening.
Okay, let's see if I can spell list. Spell project. Creature. Nope. I can't remember this spell, so I'm just gonna go try and find that piece of paper. Fuck you. Just go. That's not good. Reload. thoughts on. Like, he's getting bigger. Aw, that... Really? See, that's where the game ain't perfect. Fucking sanity effect triggered it. I figured, oh, screw it, it's just gonna reset itself. Sometimes it doesn't do that. I guess since I have the shield on, it's gonna protect me for a bit. That's the room I was looking for.
No, don't let him. Don't let him get me. Oh, help me.
Now that I got that rune, I gotta do a bit of backtracking. In fact, quite a bit of backtracking, so this is actually kind of one of the more boring parts, but it's worth it because you get the best rune in the game. And of course, that would be...
Isn't really happening.
Now, back in the day, that sanity effect would have been freaky as shit. But since we're on a new age TV, that kind of doesn't apply to this anymore. But I'm sure back in 2000, 2002, that probably would have freaked the fuck out of some people. And that's why I want to see a sequel to this game, because it has potential. I mean, it maybe not do so much of the fourth breaking sanity effects the second time around, but they had something with this. It just needed proper balance in terms of difficulty and better sanity effects. They would have done that. This game would have been... a sequel would have been perfect. Discovered spell 6. You get the spell later on. That's why I just ran back now instead of going even further into the temple. But this is basically the summon spell. And yeah, so basically you can control enemies in this game. Now, the only thing is, though, once you let go of the enemy, it can become a problem where they'll start attacking you, so it's not foolproof. These guys is not so bad since you can just get rid of them like that, but when you start getting into the higher elements and magic tiers, you'll start summoning zombies and even those big fuckers at one point. And once you let go of them, if they're not dead, then... oh boy. We'll be back. Oh, you're doing this at the worst possible time.
This can't happen.
Yeah, fuck you. Out of here. Spell list. And well, welcome to basically the best possible rune in the game, and it will break the game in half. Because the Mantarok rune basically trumps all the three others and has special properties. Such as the shield spell that'll not only protect you, but if it hits an enemy, they'll start poisoning them for a little bit. And this one will turn you invisible, I believe. No, it will not. I think that one, it'll basically just defuse any portal or blockade of any one you want. I think this is the one that turns you invisible. Doesn't. Oh, it's the reveal invisible one. I'm an idiot. Oh, I'm done fucking around with that for a while. Whoa. Hey! Oh.
This isn't.
That'll happen sometimes too, which can freak even the most veteran players out. Like, just seeing the four of them show up like that and then not being able to move. It's more of a gimmick nowadays. That's really its biggest problem, is that once the first couple times it's, you know, it's freaky in that, but the fourth wall breaking ones, it's like, oh well, of course it's sanity effect, so it's not gonna fucking have, it's not gonna have that much lasting appeal. unfortunately, as much as I like it. We're almost done this chapter, and just it takes a while. Especially if you're going back for that Manta Rock rune. It easily makes this one of the longest chapters in the game due to all the backtracking you have to do. I fucking managed to actually not touch one on live stream. How about that?
I can't. No, don't let him. Don't let him hit
And
me.
you fucked it up.
Help me.
Choice to matter, but oh well. Okay, I know there's something. It might be in the next room, but squish. Yeah, see, I basically saved like 10-15 seconds by waiting to grab that one instead of just doing it the way the game wants you to, I guess.
The power of Manta Rock is not easily controlled.
What makes you think I want to control it?
Arrogant man. Kill him! Make sure you succeed this time. The darkness shall prevail.
Alright, well. At the end of the chapter, finally.
Do not touch the heart, flesh and bone, lest you become like me, a dead, rotted husk. I have waited many centuries for you. It was not easy hiding from the Dark Ones as they searched for me. At first they passed by, not thinking that the heart was inside my dead body. But I was forced to find refuge here. You must seal the heart so it never contacts your flesh, and take it to the gathering of light. Take the heart there, or the world shall fall under a reign of eternal darkness. The veil of reality can only be pulled back so far, mortal. Take your stand and fight the darkness.
And there we go. That was chapter 2. Or 6. The hell am I thinking? Chapter 2. Oop, go back, go back. Alex discovers a pulp novel written by one Dr. Edwin Lindsay. Amongst the books on the shelf, this is where the Tomb of the Eternal Darkness indicated that something of value was hidden. Should Alex look behind the book? Yes, obviously. With the book removed, a secret cache is revealed. Inside is the heart of Mantarok encased in glass to protect the world from its corrosive energies. Should Alex take the... Yes, it should. I'll just use this one. No time to be guessing shit. Detail, yes. As the magical window fades away, a piece of parchment that the maiden was holding is left behind. Floating in midair, it appears to be a chapter page. Obviously.
I am not your food today. I am your master. Your task is to guard the artifact before you. Let no one touch it.
Save first. Never do what I do and don't Save after every chapter if you can. Oh, it's doing that one. This one freaked me out at first. And it's one of those fuck you moments. Like even that one, like right there, that just showed how actually kind of ingenious they were on some of them.
In Europe, during the time of the Inquisition, paranoia and corruption ran deep. With the fear of devilry running rampant, the ancients' corruption extended far beyond mortal knowledge, corrupting all that could be corrupted. My researches uncovered an interesting incident. A Franciscan monk named Paul Luther was traveling through the region of Amiens during the witch hunts of the Inquisition. Now, under martial law, the Inquisition prevented anyone from leaving the town and its nearby cathedral, for everyone was suspect.
Welcome to Oubliette Cathedral,
Brother Luther. I'm glad that our sacred order can bestow hospitality on our Franciscan brethren.
I shall not impose, Excellency. I merely request lodging and a viewing of the sacred relic, the Hand of Jude.
Many have traveled far and even risked their lives for a glimpse of the hallowed relic's true splendor. Of course, it would be wise to keep quiet during your stay. The Inquisition is here for a reason, brother. We seek to purge the deviancy from this town.
I am sure that will not be a problem. Amiens appears to be a peaceful hamlet.
It appears to be, but deviancy is secreted in the most deceptive places, which I believe is the case with Amiens.
Then I wish you luck in your search.
The Inquisition does not need luck, Brother Luther. Faith and purity are our guides.
Now, here's another chapter a lot of people seem to like. And I can see why. It's easily one of the longer ones without having to do a bunch of backtracking. But it's alright. It's not my favorite personally, but it's still a pretty good one. It's just, it's fucking long. And I went the wrong way already. Personally, I think the cathedral levels are easily the creepiest in terms of atmosphere. I think out of all of them, that's the one that creeps me out the most. That's, I think, mainly because it's one of the darker settings usually, except for the first chapter you're in it, where it's in daylight here, and in the later chapter it's pure, you know, it takes place at night, so it's a little bit creepier. And it's fucking huge.
For the love of God! God! Help! Come quickly! A murder! A murder most foul! What heresy is this?
I found him lying here, dead. I called the guards.
Ah. Is this our first suspect? Make sure no one touches the body. It must be examined for signs of devilry. As for this man, make sure he doesn't leave the cathedral. We will question him later.
But...
Hold your tongue, Franciscan, or it might bring my wrath upon thee. Who is to say that you did not commit this murder? If you trust in the Almighty, and you are indeed innocent, then you will have nothing to fear.
Detail. The painting captured Paul's attention. A small emerald disguised as part of the painting glints in the candlelight, as though it has some value beyond being a precious gem. Should Paul try to retrieve the emerald? Yes, he definitely should.
Are you here to pass sentence on me?
No. I'm here to free you. You are in incredible danger. This cathedral used to be a place of peace. Now many strange things happen here. I don't want you to end up like the others.
What do you mean?
The body you found was Brother Andrew, and he was killed to protect a secret. We can't talk about it here. Find me in the bell tower later, and I shall aid thee further.
Why are you releasing me?
I don't want to see another innocent die like your Franciscan brethren. I have seen Brother Andrew make numerous entries into his journal. This may contain the answers to the cathedral's dark secrets.
What can I do?
If I were you, I'd run.
They will surely hunt me if I run. This has to stop.
Then be it on your own head, Luther. Find Brother Andrew's journals if you can. He spent time in the old tower investigating. I believe I can find the key to the old tower in one of my stores. Later, come find me in the bell tower, and I will give it to you. Be swift. We can't evade them forever.
This is the chapter where we get our first magic power-up. And, am I missing something? That for now. The only thing that kind of sucks about the cathedral levels is that they don't always give you the character with the best stamina, which, as you can tell right there, it'll drain it pretty quickly. And you'll be left running around, having to stop and wait for your guy to build up its... catch its breath, which can sometimes be a pain in the ass. This is the forgeries of the reliquaries, dating back to the late 13th century. Exquisitely illuminated and bound with hard leather, it reads, "Doubtless many obscure orders recurring more income than can be garnered from the tithe." I'm guessing that's what it says. Resorted to forging ancient relics to bring people from outside their region to their diocese, and thus become more lucrative. While it could be said that a false hope is still hope, relics such as the Cuthbert's jawbone, the hand of Jude, is the infamous thigh bone fluid of Connaught. While being forgeries, While being forgeries deceive the righteous unjustly, their existence as true relics is the utmost heresy. A little bit of backstory, even though they use big words in here. Like, their vocabulary is actually pretty extensive, and it catches me off guard. Like, sometimes I'd have to read the word 2 or 3 times before I even understand that it's how it's pronounced properly. Should have ran back. This is actually, it's a pretty interesting place, all things considered. It's essentially like a recharge station. Oops. The only thing is, you can't use spells here, which can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But I mean, you're here to recharge stuff, so I guess it makes sense. The only thing that sucks. And we're going back there because I'm impatient. Let's get the hell out of here. To take out those little trappers, but too late now. We gotta go here. It's nice to see the stream actually working for a change. No, I don't even think it's screwed up once.
Ah, Brother Luther, not a moment too soon. As you have noticed, dread things inhabit this place. Shambling corpses, and worse.
There is darkness at work here, in the midst of the Inquisition.
I suspect it is worse than that, but I have no proof. Brother Andrew knew this also, and paid the price for it.
Why are you telling me this?
Perhaps you can finish off what Andrew started. Take this key. It unlocks the old tower. It has been sealed off since the Inquisition arrived.
I intend to uncover the truth behind this.
If you manage to uncover the source of darkness, return here, and I will do everything I can to help. Till then, brother, may your faith protect you.
Yeah, we get the run back. This chapter is also, it's made longer because there's a lot of back and forth you gotta do, which it can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But it's, I don't know, like I said, I'd say this is, yeah, chapter 7, we're pretty much like at the halfway point. Okay, so we're gonna... No, assign. There we go. Now, the nice thing about enchanting weapons and that, they essentially become like a torch that you can use in the darker areas, which can be a bit of help. It's not as good as the torch itself, but it does enough to help see where you're going. Shield on, oh well. Now, the interesting thing about this is if you get that sword with Anthony back a few chapters, then you'll have it here, which you can use with Luther. But if not, he's just gonna have that little short sword he had at the beginning of it. So it's like a lot of interconnectivity with the chapters where they take place in the same area. It's nice little details like that that makes this game for me stand out. Obviously, we're gonna equip that because it's stronger. Enchant this. Much better. Anything over here? I don't believe so, but I'm gonna check just in case. Nope, we're good. Now, interesting thing, they actually used this section in the Shadow of the Eternals trailer, back when that game was still a thing. Which I guess, I don't think that game's coming out anytime soon. To be honest, I don't really blame them. That whole fucking thing was just a disaster. It's a shame though, because like I said, a sequel or even like a spiritual successor, a remake, it's so severely needed. Ugh. But I know deep down it's probably never gonna happen. Which is a shame, because it's easily one of the best GameCube exclusives you can get. I mean, it's... Nintendo's really, they're only really the horror game they've got. And it's like... But they decide they don't want to do anything with it. Now, what that was basically telling you was, now I can use 5-point spells. But I can't use them until I get the final rune. But once I do, I'll start being able to use stronger spells, like the shield spell, for example. It'll give me 5 hit points instead of 3, and among other stuff. And yes, even if you chop off their entire top half, it will grow back, so... Okay, so let's start doing some 5. Now, the only thing that sucks about once you get the stronger spells, for you to use them, you've got to input them each and every single time. And I fucked that up. Chant item. Okay. Nope. Fuck. Yeah, once you have this entirely filled up with the runes, you can actually play around with it and unlock every spell you can gain access to it, except for one that you need the 7-point circle. But other than that, it's actually not that bad. Sign. And of course, using stronger magic takes more health and stuff like that. Okay, so I came in through here. Now let's get a move on. Go after, there's a room that has more than one enemy type, always go after the red ones first because they're the most beefiest. Go. Oh, this is not good. This would not be good if you could only use a certain amount of magic, but because the game allows you to recharge your magic just by walking, you're pretty much good to go. But the game can creep up on you like that, so you gotta watch out for that kind of stuff. And this is why you save after every chapter, because if I didn't save, I would have been starting all the way back at Maximilian Roivas, because this game doesn't have an autosave feature. This was well beyond before that. Okay, almost. I just want to get that shield up. Okay, let's go. Somewhere. About halfway. Basically, it's letting you know that the Paragon Rune is what you do to power up the spells. So one of the things I kind of like about this game too is that it uses its angles pretty well in terms of trying to change things up a bit. Like it uses that kind of static angles where like Resident Evil kind of does, but to me I like it how it does this a bit better because it's obviously more fluid, and also, like I said, it changes the angles and that, not to mention not having to use tank controls is a big plus in my opinion. While I'm not against the tank controls of the older Resident Evil games, at the end of the day, if a character controls better, that's always going to feel nicer.
Brother Andrew suspected Augustine all along. I managed to find remnants of his journal, and it all points to Augustine's involvement with a paganistic cult operating inside the cathedral.
Aye. The cathedral's dark secret has been uncovered. I too suspected this, but was too afraid to act. Augustine himself is a heretic.
He has covered his tracks well, claiming that the sacred relic, the Hand of Jude, was stored here. He had those who came to see it murdered. The Hand of Jude never existed.
And with that realization, the trap closes, brother. My days here are numbered. I awoke to find this cruel dagger placed upon my pillow this morn. It can only mean one thing. I know too much, and they are moving to silence me. I can only hope that what little faith I have left is enough to save my soul. Please, take this thing away from me. Its very sight troubles me to no end. May your faith protect thee, Brother Luther, for that's all you have.
One more round of running back to where I was, but this is the last time, so unfortunately, like the previous chapter, ooh, fuck you, this chapter kind of drags. But we're almost done it, so get out of here. Hey, I can actually use the crossbow for something. Totally missed that, buddy. And one of the few times you actually use this spell. The fact that it only takes up so much magic shows just how much you really don't use it. Lying in a pool of his own blood is the Custodian, Paul's only ally in the fight against the darkness. His soul no doubt lingers, fused to the altar on which his life has been taken, watching over his own rapidly cooling corpse. Feeling all hope escape him, Paul's situation is suddenly 1,000 times more desperate than before. Now he is alone against the darkness.
You are a clever man, Brother Luther. Wanting answers to clarify your new position as fugitive, you seek them out, and this is what you find. Tell me, what does a man such as yourself think of when he finds a viper's nest of heresy, when he finds the very source of corruption?
I think of irony. Irony of what you, masquerading as a member of the Inquisition, stand for. And that you stand for evil.
Evil is merely a perspective which no longer concerns me, Luther. You will be executed in the most painful manner imaginable. After we have broken your frail body and mind, in the name of our true Lord, Chaturga. Come, my children, feast on this morsel, and let us return to our preparations.
And yeah, don't be an idiot like me and do that. What happened with that was I tried to use the shield spell, but I was running, so I basically just killed the spell because you can't move while performing one, and if you do, you still lose the magic. So again, don't be an idiot like me. I mean, realistically, I probably don't need it. I'm right at the end. The door's decorated more than most within the catacombs. Sensing an immense evil behind this door, Paul wonders at the ceremony the The monk had mentioned earlier is taking place behind it. Should Paul enter and put an end to this heresy? Yes, he definitely should.
The one that seeks to do combat with me.
Your task, my liege and greater guardian, is to guard this place. Do not worry about this world. His kind yelps in terror at the sight of your mightiness. We will dispose of him ourselves.
Then I will do it as I see fit. Be gone. Leave me. And I will guard the artifact as you have instructed.
Alright, well, I think that's enough for one playthrough for tonight. I'm gonna call it quits here. I think I've been playing it for about 2 hours. Yeah, over 2 hours, so thanks you guys for watching, and you guys have a good day or night or whenever the hell you watch this in the future. And I'm out of here.